Hello everyone, my name is BuddyBear83 and welcome back to the resort. In the last episode, we left off meeting our best friend Anthony and the owner of the resort, Haas, the amazing, adorable fluffy lion. Now we are on to meet some new people. I'm really excited to see who these new people are and what's next in this resort. Without further ado, let's get started. Now then, who should I talk to first? We got Party Tanuki, Smug Horse, Buff Rhino, or Mellow Walrus. I'm gonna have to go with Mellow Walrus. I take my eyes on the couch, discovering a walrus sitting by himself. As I got closer, I realized that he was in his own world, listening to music on a cassette player, with headphones on, paying no attention to the party. I contemplated if I should bother him or not before thinking, screw it, and went ahead and tapped his shoulder. Excuse me, is the seat next to you taken? The walrus looked up to me, pulling his headphones to rest on his neck. He didn't seem bothered at all, but he could hide it well. I don't know what this walrus looks like, so we're gonna wait and see what he looks like, and then I'll decide. No, you can sit there if you want. Thanks. I went to sit next to the walrus, who adjusted himself when I sat down. It was a pretty comfortable seat and pretty wide enough for multiple people. I'm Nathan. It is nice to meet you. What's your name? Corbin. He fell into a comfortable silence in the conversation as Corbin grabbed books that were apparently next to him. He flipped open to a page, beginning to silently read. I wonder why he's here by his lonesome. Maybe he just enjoys being by himself? Damn, I hope I'm actually not putting pressure already. But I was curious already. Are you not a fan of parties? Corbin shrugged, closing his book and looking towards me. He didn't expect me to carry a conversation. He was pretty timid, but I think by surprise if he found me unpleasant. Whoa! You're actually pretty cute for a walrus. I'm not gonna lie. Looks like he has like a strong, but also kind of a dark backstory character. Ooh, I think I know what voice to give him.
Not exactly. I just prefer small gatherings. I was just dragged here by my friends.
Ah, same here. My friend Anthony dragged me here because I had nothing better to do. It was going to be a boring summer if I had stayed behind at home anyways. Corbin nodded, his face slowly falling into one of discomfort. I was about to question what was wrong until he smiled at me.
That's a shame, but you're here now, anyways. How are you?
I shrugged. There wasn't much to add, other than to be fine where I am. Decent. I guess just hanging around.
Same here, I guess. Hang around.
Our conversation fell into silence that grew bigger quickly. God damn it. How do people find conversing so easily? It's not that I'm trying to convince him or anything. Let's see. You mentioned that you had friends at home, right?
Yeah, they are like family to me. Pretty close, in fact.
Really? That sounds pretty nice. What about your other folks? You know, relatives? Okay then. I waited for a response, but he seemed keen on not answering that. Shoot, I am at hard wall, it seems. Maybe I should drop that for now. I quickly changed the topic. Do you play music? That seemed to get his attention. By a miracle, he seemed to pipe up enthusiastically to answer. His face even changed immediately to a content expression.
Yeah, me and a few friends from a band called the Delirious Trusks.
That's pretty cool. Your band got any gigs yet?
No. We're still trying to work things out, learning as we go along too.
I see. Well, I hope you guys get to play soon. It sounds like you got some bass to start in. Corbin nodded, thinking for a moment. He was tapping the book he had earlier as a way to think.
Maybe. The stars are far away after all, but they aren't unreachable.
He seems to think big in goals. I hope that is something that motivates him. What instruments are you good at? Corbin sighed, thumping his book. He started to flip pages, but didn't pay attention to what he was doing. It may be a way to cope with speaking to a total stranger.
I can play just about anything, but not in front of crowds. Not yet. I just get nervous. Like, what if I mess up, you know?
I know that feeling. I have huge stage fright. I nodded, trying to give a reassuring smile. I could see why it would be hard to play in front of a crowd. It seems something he would be working with too. Just gotta keep working on it. Go with the flow until you're comfortable with it. Maybe start with a small crowd. Corbin nodded in agreement, feeling calmer the more we spoke to each other.
Right. Maybe you and your friend could help with that. If you like us, I could score you some tickets when we get a show.
You'd do that? I am totally up for it. And knowing Anthony, he would be as well. He hardly ever says no if I ask him.
Yeah, that would be great.
Corbin would give a short smile, gleaming eyes already showing excitement.
Maybe. The stars aren't that far away after all.
After that, we chatted for a while until the sound of Corbin's stomach interrupts us. I decided to let him go eat something. I learned somewhat about him. He is a fan of music for sure. The Delirious Tux. That's his band name. With that, I got up from my seat and returned to where I was before. Let's see if there is more to do. Do I go with... I think I will go with the... Let's go with Tanuki. I looked around. After looking around, I went over towards the Tanuki. Oh, that's misspelled. Who was very busy at the bar, drink in hand. I could see him laughing with several others. There seemed to be a natural charm around him, which made people flock to him. He easily spotted me standing nearby alone, waving me over, and considering I had nothing better to do at the moment, I obliged. I'm trying to think of... I'm gonna try something. Hey! Get your ass over here. The more here, the merrier I'll be. He was obviously... Oh god, he's drunk already? Shit. He was obviously drunk, the smell of strong booze around giving it away. But the way he stood and composed himself despite all that awestruck me. I know Anthony wouldn't be able to compose himself like that so easily. Standing behind the bar was a horse. He looked at me, shaking his head in disapproval. I raised an eyebrow but ignored him, entirely turning my attention back to the drunk ward. I'm Nathan, and you are? Oh, Oh, he's not too bad. That's a pretty shirt, actually. Rufus, and you. Rufus, and you best remember that, handsome. He grinned at me, seeing enthusiastic that I was talking to him. His smile seemed contagious, making me smile with him. Rufus was definitely laying on the charm. Suddenly, the tanuki hugged me, making our bellies bump together. Though this embrace felt rather nice, I didn't mind it at all, despite it being a bit sudden. I'm hoping this doesn't turn too awkward. Is this how this dude greets everyone he meets? Good to know, Rufus. He's just being friendly, right? I probably shouldn't mind this since that's the alcohol doing the talking for him. Rufus huffled subordinately, still holding onto me. He felt warm. Smelled terrible too. Maybe I shouldn't let him hang onto me for so long like this. Unlike a certain someone I know. Unlike a certain someone I know, you're way better than him. He glanced over at the side where the horse was still standing by. He fell into a silence, and I was starting to feel slightly uncomfortable with the embrace. I probably should tell him or shove him away. Oh, I know. I'll try to divert this into conversation topics. Think of a topic. I take it that you like to drink? Rufus shrugged, hicking out. At least he is still responsive. Sometimes. I like putting lemon in it, you know? Oh, like squeezing a lemon in it? Yeah, like, what do you do with the chai tea? There's none here, unfortunately. I've actually never had any of that before. Rufus chuckled, squeezing onto me just a bit. I felt some air being squeezed out of my lungs. Now I'm feeling like a squeezable lemon. Ah, man, that's a serious no-no. We're gonna need to change that soon. One drink at a time. Sure. Oh, sure, if you say so. Just don't expect me to get drunk like that. Once more, he fell into a lull in the conversation. I contemplated asking him to let me go, but he started another conversation before I could. Does he even notice he is tightening his hold around me? Oh god, don't break my back. You know, that I could play the bongos on my belly, like bam bam, ba-bam. Really? Well, that's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Want to give it a try? I was kind of hesitant, but morbid curiosity is the only driving motivation that made me want to do this. It kind of helped me forget I was being hugged against my will for a bit. I wasn't in immediate danger. Sure, I guess. Rufus gave a content grunt and stepped back for me to take off his shirt. Oh god. Finally, let's go. But I'm not quite done yet. I already got myself into this. No turning back now. I sighed in relief, taking the chance to admire his belly. He looked kind of nice, I suppose. I actually like how soft he looked. The tanuki began humming to himself as I lightly drummed my hands along his big belly. His fur was surprisingly smooth, as if kept in decent shape. There were ripples along the belly, not big ones, but still moved along my tapping. He seemed to relax more as he began to tap his foot to my improvised rhythm. His head was wiggling along too, like his whole body caught the flow nicely. Huh, maybe this isn't the worst thing in the world. I guess he really does like his belly being played with like that. I probably should keep this in mind later. But for now, I eventually stopped, pulling his shirt back on. That was a Nice, your fur feels really soft. Thanks. I actually have a special gel I use to make my fur feel nice. I can confirm I wouldn't mind having fur as soft as that. Yeah, well, I could let you borrow some of mine sometime. I gave a small shrug. His fur was cool, but maybe not cool enough for me to try his new fur gel. Not that I don't trust him, it's just that I'm still new to him, that's all. That is. No thanks. Maybe later. Oh, oh, you made him sad. No, not smooth enough for your liking. I thought you said you liked my fur. I thought for a moment before shaking my head. I was hesitant for a reason. I didn't want to tell him the truth just yet. Rufus shrugged, looking towards the bartender and shaking his now empty mug. Hey, bartender, refill my shot. Something, if you will. He turned to me and winked. What's he trying now? Would you like one? This one is on me. You won't have to pay at all. No thanks. I'm not in the mood now. Suit yourself. Then I'm going for another one. Okay, bye. While Rufus became busy with ordering another round of shots, I wondered if the gel he used would actually work on me, or Anthony for that matter. They didn't always work on the same kind of fur. Maybe it's only a Tanuki thing. I swear his fur is a lot thicker than mine. I should probably ask another time. I decided to distance myself by watching Rufus down the mugs of alcohol he received. He must really like drinking. He is downing them like he just ran a marathon and is taking it like water. He, in his more drunken sober, seemed to notice me standing idly by and came closer to me. I could smell his breath from a mile away. It reeked of alcohol. It's getting worse by the second. Never any good than he was before. You know, I was thinking, maybe I could feel up your belly, and we could be belly bros together. Before I could respond, he rested his hands on my stomach. Oh, that's a misspelling. It took me by surprise, but really, I shouldn't be. He was the kind of guy who gets all handsy when not sober. Does he even do this when he isn't drunk? I feel very uncomfortable now. His hands are moving lower the more I let him touch my belly. I winced and shivered as he quickly dug his hands under my shirt, groping and pinching my fur and stomach. Oh my god. It was ticklish, but I was too worried he would cross the line further to even react with a giggle. And my gel would work really nicely for you. Your fur is gonna be so soft. You'll see what I mean. This is harmless, right? He's just resuscitating what I did to him. Actually, it could be very well be a punishment. I did bring myself over here on my own terms, but this doesn't feel right, and I don't feel right. Rufus! Hey, just relax. Just trying to be friendly here. I sighed at him, simply glaring at my eyes. I tried looking away, but I was looking down as if on watch. That was until he began to go lower. Oh no. What the fuck? We're in public. No, fuck. Maybe this is why the horse was shaking his head at me like that. Did he think I was in on this? I reacted this time, getting back to at the Tanuki. Okay, no more, stop. Get off. Holy shit. My outburst caused him to freeze where he stood, giving me the opportunity to shove him off of me. I grabbed his hand and took them out of my belly immediately. He didn't force himself on me at all. Good, at least he isn't going to try and push it further. Shit. What voice did it give you, Anthony? Ah, yes. Hey, what the hell is going on here? I gave an angry sigh, backing away from the Tanuki as Anthony and Hans approached us. That's quite enough, Rufus. Rufus whined, but before I could process it, he was on the floor, being restrained by Anthony. Oh, that was fast. Anthony took him down like it was nothing. It was probably because Rufus was drunk and could hardly move on his own. Hans looked towards me and gave me a pitiful smile, like a father giving his son a worrying look after a stranger got into trouble with him. Are you okay, Nathan? He didn't hurt you now, did he? I thought for a moment before simply nodding in response I was fine. Just that it happened so sudden, I didn't really mean any of this to happen. I looked towards Rufus and Anthony, the former being led by the latter out of the room. Hans seemed to follow my gaze. I actually felt bad for Rufus. He wasn't exactly holding me by the arms or anything. Don't worry about him. I'll send him to his room. He's had enough for tonight. Anthony? Anthony froze before turning to the approaching lion. They passed the cargo onto each other, and Hans led Rufus away to his room, leaving Anthony to me. The panther returned next to me, slightly fumbling. He was obviously upset now. Was it really that bad? Maybe I shouldn't pry too much for now. I'm fine, Anthony. Nothing happened to me. I shot him a smile to reassure him, and he seemed to slowly begin to calm down at that. Anthony shot me a worried glance before slowly giving out a sigh. The panther seems to calm down now. Good. I wish I would have known sooner though. Why on earth did you sit with Rufus? I shrugged. Maybe this wouldn't have happened if he was sober or something. I could probably try meet Rufus probably tomorrow once. I haven't lost trust in him though, not completely. Maybe things will be fine tomorrow. He was only drunk when I talked to him. Regardless, I recommend staying away from him. He tends to get in a lot of trouble himself. A long, awkward pause followed up after that. I waited long enough for Anthony to continue, but I had to respond now. At least until he's sober. The panther hesitated before nodding, his face saying it all already. Yeah, at least until he's sober. The panther gave me a lingering gaze before waving and returning to whoever he was talking to. Well, that exchange was over, and so was my hangout with the drunk Tanuki. Yeah, I won't let that ruin my night. I should distract myself, though. Look forward for more people in the room. Wow. That escalated quickly. Let's hope the next person we meet is sober and not trying to get in our pants. Oh my god. Alright, who's next? We got the smug horse or the buff rhino. Let's go see the buff rhino. I decided to approach the huge rhino on the dance floor. He was doing moves I've never seen before. It's honestly impressive that he looks this good while dancing for a guy as big as he was, that is. The rhino turned to me and gave a cocky grin. He did one final pose, flexing his muscles, before adjusting himself to talk to me. Oh shit, you are bigger than I was expecting. Hi. Oh god, I don't know what voice I should give you.
And that's how I'm the king of dance.
Let's do something like that.
And that's how I'm the king of dance.
Me, along with the crowd that was gathered, clapped for him before they quickly disappeared. We stood in front of each other. He seemed to enjoy the attention. Nice performance out there. I take it you enjoy dancing?
Thank you. And yes, I do. I'm Gordon. Nice to meet you.
I'm Nathan. It's nice to meet you. The rhino was sweating, but he still wore a constant smile. He must be tired, though, breaking out such exhausting-looking moves. You must be thirsty after all that. Would you like a drink? Gordon grinned, clicking his tongue at me. I felt it would be kind to offer a drink.
Yeah, I could use a drink or two, and a break.
After going to the bar and requesting a couple drinks, we sat together at a nearby table. We both got a glass of water, for starters. I wasn't going to take alcohol, and I wanted to share a drink with Gordon. His muscles were fucking huge. Now that I got to sit and stare, he was so big, disappeared entirely under his weight. I sure hope he holds him. Not that I'm calling him fat, but those muscles more than make up for a massive weight. Your muscles are impressive. You must work out a ton to get them like that. Gordon grinned, settling down his drink and flexing his muscles for me. He would pat his biceps as a sign they were tough as iron.
Sure do. Most days if I can. Here, wanna touch these bad boys?
Gordon must have trained extensively to get to the point he's at. I wish I had the dedication to work vigorously the way he probably did. I shouldn't get too into him. Not just yet. No thanks, but I appreciate the offer.
Your loss. At least, I don't have a belly like yours.
What the hell? I bit my tongue, and Gordon seemed to notice my now sour expression.
Sorry, not like that. There's anything wrong with that. I like round bellies. Just not in myself, though.
Uh-huh. The conversation went into a lull, and I stared at my drink. The water was completely still. I haven't touched it at all since the bartender had it set down on the table. Loreno tries to strike up another conversation with me.
Hey, you know, my pecs are also one of my strongest assets.
I looked up from my drink to meet his gaze. I couldn't just ignore him now that I got his full attention, and even invited me to sit with him. He already seems to like me, so I better not fuck this up. Oh, really? You're really proud of them, and you should be. Oh my god! Okay. Okay, are we doing this on day one? Without another word, he took off his shirt and flexed, bouncing his pecs. By the gods, they looked extremely thick, even more when Gordon started to flex them up and down. My god, I'm starting to feel my heartbeat race. Oh my god, you're blushing and winking at me.
You sure you don't want to touch these? One of the quickest ways to get me excited.
We're in a public place! Morbid curiosity led me to only poke his chest, which bounced at me in response. It's kind of weird, but mostly kind of cool. The rhino had a tough skin, literally, and it combined well with those muscles. I retracted my hands after the poke. I didn't think I should keep going. Now here in the middle of so many eyes probably looking at the guy who just removed his shirt. Exactly! That's what I said! There isn't a no shirt, no service ground rule for bars. Gordon noticed that I was finished and carefully put his shirt back on. He didn't seem disappointed, but I hope he understands.
Done already?
I nodded, trying not to look too embarrassed, but I failed, of course. My face was red as a tomato. Oh my god. Why? Why all this on day one? Why?
Maybe, if you want, I could train your body to be like mine. I got a whole lot of training sessions options I could get you started with.
I shrugged it off. I'm not the kind of bodybuilder like he is. Maybe if I could build some endurance, however, it would at least help me not be so lazy on most days. Thanks, but I'm mostly fine with how I am now. I would consider it for another time. He fell into a lull again, a silent bridge building up between us. Damn, I'm bad at conversations. I figured I could ask him about why or how he's here. Come on, Nathan. You're still good here. So tell me, why are you here at this place?
My father gave me the invite, saying that he wants me to train more, but honestly...
He downed the rest of his drink, one quick, that I could barely see it go down his own throat.
I'm going to use the time I have to relax. I figured I did enough training prior to coming here, and this place seems so perfect. So, likewise, why are you here? Got an invite, I imagine?
Yeah, my panther friend Anthony did invite me. He kind of dragged me here with him since I did nothing better to do back at home during summer. Gordon nodded, seemingly eager to bring something else up. I went quiet so he could speak his mind.
My father says I'm really good at sports, assuming that I'll be the next protege or something. I don't blame him. It's just that I can't be doing training and sports at the same time.
I looked at him. I wouldn't doubt it. He would do really well at something like football or rugby. Probably could break some guy if he tackles them. Eek.
It's exhausting sometimes, the pressure and all, but I know he means well. He is a father, proud of his son. I keep hearing that, so it must be true.
Gordon, do you have daddy issues? I stared at his heavy physique with a question in mind. He was heavy weight, but I was curious about his fitness. I wanted to ask, can you swim?
Nope, not a swimmer's body. I stick to weight lifting and power training.
I imagine so. Well, I can't swim either. Anthony tries to teach me, though, since he's practically a pro. Maybe he could give you some lessons if you ask.
Maybe. I'll ask some other time. As I mentioned, I don't want to train yet. I'm on my break from all that.
We continued our barter for a while, until Gordon was called somewhere else by a group of people. I learned a lot about what sort of training he does, and how he enjoys this place so far. He didn't say anything negative at all. We waved goodbye to each other, and I went back to where I was standing before. I looked around for more. Now, where else could I go to? Well, all we have left is the horse. I decided to walk over to a grand-looking stand. What caught my eye was a horse simply inspecting the food. There was something wrong with it. He was deep in thought and was shifting his sight side to side at every piece. I began to approach the stand to get closer, but the horse whirled around to face me before I could say anything. He had a stern look at me, but didn't feel threatened, more like intimidated for a moment. Hi, I'm Nathan, and you're... Okay, in my mind, I thought he had like a punk or bad mood vibe or something like that. But no, this is the complete opposite of what I was thinking.
Dylan, I suppose you hear of the invites as well?
I nodded in response, and Dylan's eyes scanned me up and down, just like he was doing to the food. Am I being judged? I am not exactly fancy party material, but I don't think I look that bad. At least Anthony told me I was fine. Oh god, are you gonna be one of those rich snobby brats? Is that what this character is gonna be? Oh, we are screwed.
I suppose Hans would send an invite to someone like you. I think he had a family coming over.
Yeah, I am being judged, and not in a good way. Well, fuck you, dude. Excuse me?
You're excused. I saw you enter with that panther earlier. I assumed he's a friend of yours.
Yeah, I wanted to meet everyone I could, since we're going to be staying for a month. Dylan shrugged, not really showing interest for more. I don't want to pay attention to it either. Let's move along. I should ask him about himself.
Regardless, I suppose I could play nice tonight.
Bitch, I will beat the shit out of you! Well, I assume you have your own reasons for being here.
You could say that.
He seemed to smile at me, which was a bit sudden. It definitely wasn't like one of those genuine smiles, like what Anthony did. Oh my god. Can someone put the smile curse on this horse, please? It was that type of smile that someone would show when they're smug or really proud of something about themselves. Yep, we need the smile curse on this guy, please. And, in 7 days, maybe he'll pass it on to his family. Oh, God, here we go.
Our family owns and runs a series of restaurants. We're really damn proud of our work, and I hope to pick up some inspirational ideas to take back with me.
I was rather surprised by his comment. Kind of surprised that him, of all people like him, would be working in the restaurant industry. Maybe that explains why was inspecting the food in such detail. Is he probably a chef or a caretaker? Okay, maybe he's not. I don't know. However, I do get the impression that he's so smug and arrogant about his work. He doesn't seem impressed by the food so far, and does love talking about himself too. That much was being made abundantly clear.
I do wonder, though, why did your friend and someone like yourself receive invites to this place?
Dylan smirked, resting a hand on his hip. He seemed confident about what he was going to say. I didn't know what to answer. I felt like he was asking a theoretical question.
You fell asleep in college, and it passed by you. I almost feel very sorry for you.
Okay, I'm gonna be doing your last. Yep, he is only trying to stir me up. He has no intent in me at all. I am like a peasant standing in front of an arrogant royal. It was clear he wanted me gone. Is this how he acts to everyone he meets? Rude much? No. Rude much?
I beg your pardon?
You know, I didn't ask to be judged by someone like you. I only came here as you seemed interested enough to chat with. But it's no wonder you're over here by yourself. Dylan seemed shocked that I was responding back to him like this, but a part of me didn't care at that moment. If you were like this to people you've ever met or don't know anything about, it's no wonder you're here alone. Maybe I should have went to the Tanuki first. At least he looks fun to be around.
Now, hold on there. I didn't mean...
No idea why someone like you is even here. I'm sure Hans wouldn't appreciate someone as arrogant as you chasing folks away. If this is your idea of playing nice, it avoids me to think what playing mean to you is.
Nathan, wait,
Mike, drop. Boom. I did have the time, but not the patience to deal with this. I turned around, sighing before quickly moving and walking away this guy, before giving him the chance to respond or defend himself. He didn't seem to care, in fact, probably was glad I left him on his own. I am glad I chose him last. Maybe it's the alcohol messing with people's heads or something. I don't know. That was not the best interaction I've had so far. I returned to where I stood in the first place, now contemplating what else to do. I'll take a look around and try and get my mind off it. Oh, all done. All done. Oh my god. What's with this music? Is this romantic music? The party slowly seemed to be drawing to its conclusion. I was mostly content. It wasn't a bad party, of all things considered. I actually got to meet some new folks. While I was sitting on a bar stool, Anthony came over and plopped himself next to me. He seemed like his usual happy self. Hey buddy, you took yourself out yet? I huffed at Anthony, who seemingly grinned at me until I poked his belly. It's definitely eaten plenty. He hesitated for a moment before poking me in return. We giggled at our antics, both of us just going at each other. I don't think I didn't see you going for seconds after that cake, Anthony. The Anthony smiled and shrugged shamelessly, patting down his own belly. Guilty as charged. The sound of a mic being turned on interrupted our conversation, and we turned to Hans, who stood on stage with mic in hand.
Attention! We are now closing for the night. I hope all of you had fun this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
The crowd gave small yas and cheers, joining with a short clapping session.
Firstly, I'd like to thank the staff who helped me make this party a success. This wouldn't have been possible without them.
The staff members waved, and we took a moment to give them a round of applause. I felt good seeing everyone glad it went well.
Now then, I have an important announcement to make.
The lion paused, turning away to sigh. He seemed hesitant, like he was struggling to let it out. Did something bad happen?
As you all may know, I opened this place as part of a passion project with the goal in mind of bringing entertainment and relaxation here. A time that has been consistent since the day of its opening. In its prime, a lot of people came here and did that, staying and having a good time in peace. We managed to keep our ratings and satisfaction high. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm saying all this.
Hans frowned, taking a moment to judge the crowd's reaction. Everyone, myself included, were confused and concerned. The mood in the room was getting somber.
No, the reason I sent out the invitations to you all was because...
Here comes the moment of truth. It's like some hearts were stopped, at least those who seemed to care enough.
I wanted you all to have a lovely vacation, but I cannot promise you it will all be the same for a whole month. I am in desperate need of help.
Uh-oh. This is definitely not good news.
I have a huge debt on this place, and I hope that after this party, you all understand that it may not be the same after. I'm going to need help running this place. I can't exactly pay you Funds are already low as it is. I'm looking mostly for volunteers. But if you help me and return this place to its former glory, you'll all be heavily contemplated. I know I can't force you to stay, let alone volunteer, so there will be a boat for those who want to leave. The crowd showed mixed reactions, with Anthony at the side more so confused about the situation. There was definitely a chatter amongst everyone. He gave a small sigh as he sipped his drink, probably a mouthful himself. Tonight is on the house. No need to worry about anything else. Again, I'm truly sorry about dropping this small news all of a sudden. Thank you kindly for coming.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
After the lion bowed, he quickly walked off stage. He began moving a box after he got down the stage, setting the box's contents off onto a table in front of the stage. Those were room keys. It seemed like they were enough for everyone, specifically counted for each of us. While most people grabbed their keys and left, others simply bolted out the room altogether, not turning back. I couldn't blame them for that after hearing the news that Hans just told everyone.
I guess we better grab one. There's one for each of us.
We grabbed our keys and made our way towards our assigned rooms. It was probably for the best. The night's been fun, and the news kinda soured the mood a bit. Overall, it was fun. For that announcement, that is.
Ooh!
Nice little CG. We arrived on the 3rd floor, and continually our rooms were across from each other. We were standing in the middle of the hallway, lingering there for a moment.
So, good night for now. I don't think I have any more energy after tonight.
I nodded, and Anthony frowned. He seemed especially worried. Probably the news had Hans dropped.
I'm so sorry, Nathan. I didn't know that this would happen. I really wanted this to be fun for the two of us.
Why was he apologizing? It's not like he was the cause of all this. What do you mean? This isn't your fault. Is there something wrong? Anthony crossed his arms over his chest, leaving no doubts he wanted to say something else.
I'm sure we had good interactions, right? Hans is a man with a heart in the right place.
I don't think this is a good time to discuss it, though it was put so sudden on us. How about we continue this for tomorrow? I think we need a rest.
Alright, good night then. I'll see you tomorrow.
We entered our rooms, turning in for the night. At least the rooms were amazing. It may helped me get my mood off things, if only for a time. Oh, we're still going? Why does this music sound familiar? I wonder who that could be. I opened the door, surprised to see Rufus standing there. The memory of what happened last night still fresh in my mind. Oh, we're on the next day? Okay then. Alrighty then, we are going to leave this episode of The Resort here. Wow, that was a fun episode. Meeting so many new people already. I can't believe The Resort is in financial trouble though, that's horrible. Oh, I want to give Hans a big old hug and tell him that's gonna be okay. Well, let's hope in the next episode things will be better.
I think my favorite character right now is probably Hans. He's just so big and soft and cuddly. Well, not cuddly yet, but we'll find out in the future. If I could pick another favorite character, it would be I'm blanking on the name, but it's the Walrus character. I thought he looked cool. And I don't think I've seen a walrus in a VN before. So it's nice to see something different for once. In the meantime, I look forward to playing this game entirely. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell for new notifications. In the meantime, this was Buddy Bear 83. Take care, everyone. Bye!